Hello, everybody. About to be making another trip into Sephora to get a free smell, and hopefully they don't say, you come here too much. Please leave. So I end up going with Jean-Paul Gaultier, the Beau Paradise Garden. And honestly, the reason I picked this one is because I realized I'd never actually tried any of these fragrances by Jean-Paul Gaultier. And I recently had an experience that was pretty cool where I was checking out the store and I walked past this dad and his son who was probably somewhere between 10 and 12 years old. And I was wearing Tom Ford Oud Wood, which I've done a video on. So people know that watch these know it's one of my favorites. And I walked past them and the dad said to the son, was like, see, that's the person that smells so good. And we started talking and the son was like really into fragrances. And I thought that was just really cool. Like one of the coolest kids I've met in a long time. And just had like a nice conversation with him and his dad about fragrances. And the dad mentioned that they'd already pre-ordered like a new Jean Paul Gaultier that's coming out or has just come out or something. And while this isn't that one, I was thinking about I've never actually tried any of those. So that's one reason why I picked this one. And honestly, I really like it. I feel like this smells a lot like what I expected Creed Virgin Island water to smell like, where it smells like a tropical paradise. Like they really kind of, I feel like, nail that. I'm getting some coconut, but it's not like pina colada level coconut smells. I think it's balanced really well by, it's like got some fruit and some spicy smells to it. And not spicy like a cinnamon or like that type of spice, but like if you were to eat it, it would be spicy. Like I think it's ginger is what's probably providing that. So I'm really liking it so far. I do think that it might, at least at the beginning, be slightly too sweet. Like that the fruitiness and the coconut together, I think is going to, like, I like it, but I think it might just be a little bit too sweet at the moment. But I think that's probably going to clear up as it dries down. But I will check back in about an hour to talk about that, and we'll see how it's doing then. All right, see you soon. It's now been about 2 hours since I applied Paradise Garden. It was a little longer than I meant to, but I just had some work stuff that kind of made it to where I couldn't do it at the 1 hour mark. But honestly, it still is smelling very good and very strong, but not overwhelming. For a little bit, I would say that the coconut element of it was a little overwhelming, to where it was not anything like the Creed Virgin Island water level of coconut that was going on, but still, it was like all right, I've been around this for an hour now. It's getting to me a little bit, but that has since mellowed out. In fact, let's go ahead and see how it's doing. I'm definitely getting some more of those other kind of green, earthy, woodsy smells that are associated with this one. So there is like some, I believe sandalwood is one of the base notes. I'm really kind of smelling that come through now. Some other fruity elements like I still am getting like the fig, which was one of the things that I thought balanced really well with the coconut. And at this point, the coconut is now mild enough that I'd say it is more pleasant than it was at the beginning. It was never bad. It was never like, oh my God, this smells like a pina colada. But it was like this smells a little bit stronger than I would have liked in terms of the coconut. The other elements like the ginger and those kind of that little bit of spice was still really nice. And I'm still getting a lot of that. That's what I think is actually pretty surprising is that I'm still very much still identifying some of these things and that they aren't being lost just to like nose blindness or just kind of fading away into nothingness, into the ether or something like that. So also when I got home from the mall, my wife smelled it and she really liked it. She did agree about the coconut a little bit. She didn't think it was as big of a deal, which I didn't think it was a big deal anyway. But she did think, well, you've been around it longer than I have, so that I think played a little bit of a role. So I'm interested to see how this will continue to perform over the next several hours. I'm gonna try to check back in at about the 6 to 7 hour mark, and then we'll kind of do the usual. how it's doing, where to get it for the best price, that type of thing. So look forward to talking to you again, and see you later. All right, so it's been about 8 hours since I first applied Paradise Garden, and I gotta say, the longer that I've worn this, the more I've liked it. I liked it in the beginning. I thought it was just a little bit too strong with the coconut, but not in an overly unpleasant way. But that definitely has mellowed out, and I feel like I can even still smell the coconut despite it being a top note that you would expect to have faded away at this point. And speaking of things remaining till this point, the smell is still very much present without being overwhelming. So for longevity, this has maybe one of the best longevities that I have tested with fragrances. It is very impressive how long it lasts. Like even on the shirt, like on my shirt, I can still smell it very strongly. On my skin, right before I was filming this, I had my wife smell my arm, and she went up and down the entire arm, and she was like, I really like this. So I think this is going to be one that's going to be going to my collection in the hopefully relatively near future. We'll see. But I would definitely recommend this one for anybody that wants like a nice summer fragrance that, and like I don't put too much stock in like this is only a summer fragrance. You can't wear it in the winter. Life's too short. Wear what you want when you want. But I do think that the smells in this one very much complement a summer kind of orientation. So that being said, I big fan. Now let's talk about where you can buy it for the best price. All right, so neither Costco nor Sam's Club sell these right now. I was looking on both of their apps. I feel like I've seen some Jean Paul Gaultier stuff at Sam's Club, but in the app I didn't see anything. So next time I'm in there in person, I will like check. But at least in the app, it's not. I didn't see anything, so I'm not gonna be finding anything for those. But so let's go ahead and look at the manufacturer Jean Paul Gaultier. They have the sizing for these bottles is a little bit interesting. It is a 2.5 ounce bottle or a 4.2 ounce bottle. And the smaller bottle, the 2.5 ounce, is $126 from the manufacturer. And then you can get the 4.2 ounce for $159. So not the most unreasonably priced fragrances, even from them. So let's see where we might be able to find some that could be a little bit cheaper. All right, so from FragranceNet, you can get the smaller bottle for about $84, and you can get the bigger bottle for about $105. And what's nice about FragranceNet is that these are over the threshold for free shipping, so you would not have to worry about that. However, that bigger bottle, it is a tester, which I'm not too concerned about that, like on a personal level. If I could save a significant amount of money by getting a tester, then I would do that. The only real difference between those is that they might not be in the original packaging, might just be very plain packaging, and they might not have certain decorative elements like a decorative cap or something like that. So not the biggest deal in the world if it can save you a lot of money. But we're also going to take a look at one more place. All right, last we're going to be talking about Joma Shop. They are a great place I've bought from before. I talk about them a lot. And they have that smaller bottle for $73.46. And then they have the bigger bottle for $99.99. And they also have a tester option for a little bit less, but with that price difference is like so small that I would probably just spring for the non-tester version, just because I do like a little bit of the experience of like opening the packaging, like the unboxing of it and all that stuff. So I think that I would probably buy this from Joma Shop for either size that I was buying, because for the smaller bottle, then it's going to be cheaper. Even with $5.99 shipping, it's going to be cheaper to get from Joma Shop than it was from FragranceNet. Not much, a little bit. And then for the bigger bottle, then even with the $5.99 shipping, then it's only like a couple dollars more than that tester would have been from FragranceNet. Like I said, if it's only like a couple dollars difference, I want the nicer box. I might want the decorative cap. I might want some of that stuff in this particular circumstance. So that would be my recommendation about where to get it, is from Joma Shop probably. But it's really kind of a toss-up between that. It just kind of depends on what you're feeling. So thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that you got some information out of it that might be helpful to you. If you liked it, please like and subscribe, all that stuff. It makes me feel good. Helps me keep on making videos and all that stuff. And Thank you again so much for watching. I hope you have a great night.